What is going on, guys? Welcome to episode number 53. Can you guys believe that? 53 episodes of this Cincinnati Reds franchise. And for those of you guys that are still around, still here, still leaving likes, still leaving comments, still being attentive and interested in this franchise series, I salute you guys, because you know what? It has been a grind, but that is how I like to do my franchise series. So I'm glad that you guys are still here. I'm glad that you guys are still coming to watch these things. And you know, it's been fun. It's been very, very fun. It's actually a lot more fun than my Tigers franchise. I really feel like that. Mostly because that was when I first started YouTube. So there's that. So obviously with anything, the more you do it, the more experience you get, and hopefully the better that you get. So I hope that you guys think that I'm doing a good job here for you. All right, so what did we do in review in the last episode? Well, we signed Carlos Carrasco, 33 years old. Got him until he's 37, right? He actually may retire before then. Maybe. I mean, I know that Joey Votto's 36, and we've actually got him for 5 more years. That's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen. He's gonna retire soon. He's got to retire soon. But we also acquired Andrew Miller and AJ Pollock. So the AJ Pollock and Andrew Miller trade acquisition, we got those guys from a trade. We traded Billy Hamilton away. So the thought process is that we're trying to defend our World Series title. We got some guys that are getting older, especially Joey Votto. So he's decreasing in his overall. He's the main guy, right? He's the main man, right? Scooter Gennett's getting a little bit older. He has not performed for us as he is in real life with 250 and 244. He has not performed. So our offense is taking kind of a little bit of a hit here. Eugenio Suarez, obviously one of our better guys, 88 overall. He's 28 though. He's 28. I mean, maybe we got some more seasons out of him, but he's a C potential. So you know, that might start dropping here in the next few years. So basically I'm looking forward that this team is starting to get a little bit older. Just a little bit. So I'm starting to do my due diligence and looking ahead and say the future is bright with Jesse Winker, Taylor Trammell, right? And some other of our young guys like Nick Senzel. Jose Peraza might still be around. We've got some young second basemen as well. Pavin Smith at first base. Pitching is pretty young with Luis Castillo, but other than that, that's really about it. And Tyler Mahle, right? So those are our 2 guys. Everything else is getting a little bit older, right? So the thought process here is we're now in win now mode. So the Billy Hamilton trade helps our offense with AJ Pollock, right? He's not going to get to as many baseballs down in center field as Billy Hamilton will, right? It's just not going to happen. Nobody's Billy Hamilton. Billy Hamilton is Billy Hamilton, right? But AJ Pollock, the fielding is very good, 84. Reaction time is very good. Speed, he can still give us some stolen bases that we lost out of Billy Hamilton, right? But the offensive numbers are what's going to help this team out big time. And the best defense is good pitching, right? So when we get Andrew Miller, Jose Leclerc, Michael Lorenzen, Crockett, Finnegan, Weiss, Amir Garrett, right? That's a filthy back end of the bullpen. Brad Hand to close, right? And we've actually not got too bad of a defensive setup anyway, especially with Nick Senzel at shortstop. So all in all, I think it was a winning trade for us. I think it was a winning trade for the LA Angels. And ultimately, I think that this team is ready to win now. And that's the plan here going into next season. So let's just go ahead and simulate up until the 31st. And let's see where some guys ended up. But first things first, I did see that we got some people here on the MLB roster that we need to move down. Tyler White. We signed Tyler White. I like this guy because really the thought process behind signing Tyler White, guys, was this. You guys have probably already saw it when I was talking about Joey Votto, but Tyler White was signed because, you know, DJ Peterson's 28, 7 points less, B potential. Nathaniel Williamson still got a long way to go. He's 20 years old, that B potential. He's a very good hitter, guys. 82 contact, 65 contact. We just need to work with him with his fielding, and then he might be a good backup or a good first baseman eventually. You know, who knows what's going to happen with Pavin Smith? We don't know. But Tyler White was signed because of basically for depth reasons, for just in case Pavin Smith doesn't pan out, just in case some of these younger guys here don't pan out. You know, we got Tyler White for a couple years, and you know, he's a pretty dang good hitter, all things considered. You know, even in real life with the Houston Astros, he's been pulling his own weight for that ball club, and you know, he didn't get a lot of run here with the Nationals. I know that we struck him out quite a bit. We just knew how to pitch him with the right-handers. You can see on the right-handed versus right-handed hitters there, that blue zone, that's where we were pitching him pretty much. But you know, this is going to be a good player for us, and I really like what he's going to be able to offer us for the future. We signed this guy here, Peter Davis, a 19-year-old, 59 overall, third baseman, B potential. Now, you're probably thinking, Gold, why did you sign a third baseman? You've already got Ryan Franks, the guy that you just drafted at 73 overall, 18 years old. You know, he's a pretty dang good player himself with a lot of room to grow. Well, the reason being, I just wanted some depth. That's all we really are looking for. We need to get a little bit younger because Josh Van Meter doesn't look like he's going to work out. You know, 57 overall, B potential, 25. It just doesn't seem like he's going to get there, right? So, Peter Davis, Ryan Franks, that's the future at third base. I mean, Senzel might be the future at third base, but I kind of like him at shortstop. Eventually, we may need to move on from Jose Peraza. You know, he's here for 4 more years, but that's a pretty dang good contract to hold for 4 years for a player like Peraza. So I like the way that looks. Let me see. Is there anybody else that I decided to sign? This guy right here, Jacob Brugman. Look at his peripheral numbers there. He's a pretty good fielder for 28 years old. You know, he's in his prime. He's probably only going to be a AAA type of player, or a minor league player, I should say. But those contact numbers are pretty good, 60 and 58, 44 power. He can give you a little bit of pop. So I like the depth. I like the depth right there. So I do like where that's going. But then there was another guy. There's another pitcher, I believe, that's down here. Now, if I can find him, that'd be great. Where is he? I don't think I ended up signing him. Sorry, guys. Don't think I ended up signing him. Let's go to the transaction screen real quick, because I think... Is there a transaction screen? Where is it? Okay. I want to go to the Cincinnati Reds here. Okay, so we got Tyler White, Jacob Brugman, and Peter Davis. So those are the guys that we signed. I was looking at a pitcher that would kind of be like a project type of guy. He was very young. He had about a C potential. He's like a 62. So I was thinking, like, okay, if we sign this guy, and looking at our pitching staff right now, it's pretty young as it is. You can never have too many young arms. And if we can develop him, you know, maybe like a guy like Kerry Mela might be a trading piece, you know, if we're trying to, you know, in case there's an injury or something, you know, in a playoff stretch, we could acquire a guy that is going to help us in that regard. But I got some things to do as far as the MLB level goes, the AA level, so I'll be right back. So guys, I'm actually going to have to make a hard decision here. Zach Weiss is actually going to have to be the guy that gets moved down. I could have moved Brandon Finnegan down to AAA, but, you know, his numbers are too good right there for last season. You know, he can be one of our spot starter type of dudes. And Zach Weiss is kind of a one-trick pony. Doesn't really have the velocity to stay up. I know he's a 78, but, you know, somebody's got to go, and it looks like it's going to have to be Zach Weiss. And looking at some of our pitching staff, I guess I could go with Sal Romano as well, because when we look at the staff right now, you know, you got this is your starting 5: Castillo, Carrasco, Keuchel, DeSclafani, and Graveman. That's your starting 5, with Tyler Mahle shooting for that spot. Now, basically, if that happens, then you've got Molly, Romano, and Garrett all in AAA, or all in the bullpen. And then you've got guys like Andrew Miller, Leclerc, Lorenzen, Crockett, Weiss, Finnegan. That's a big bullpen, right? That's a very large bullpen. We need a backup catcher. Tyler Stevenson's going to have to get moved up since he is the backup catcher. So we're actually going to have to move 2 guys down. And that's what gets real sticky, is because then you've got Pavin Smith, who's got to be our backup first baseman. We don't have another option for that. You have to do Nick Senzel, Eugenio Suarez at third. I mean, Peraza is a bench player. Taylor Trammell is going to be playing in the outfield. So we definitely need to make that happen, because AJ Pollock is not going to be... He's gonna play the majority of the days, but Taylor Trammell is gonna be able to like pull how we managed Nick Senzel in his rookie season, right? His rookie season, he only played 73 games. So that's kind of where I envision Taylor Trammell. Now, we could put him down in AAA to get more at-bats and really bump that overall up, but you know, right now, what's the point, right? He's 22 years old, and he's almost just as good as Jesse Winker. So you have to let the kid play, in my opinion. Scott Schebler's man in right field, Pollock's man in center field. So somebody's got to get sent down, and it sucks because I don't technically want to do that because this team is stacked, right? But it's going to have to be Zach Weiss. We're going to have to move him down to AAA, and it's going to have to be Sal Romano as well, because between Garrett, Romano, and Molly, I would rather have Garrett and Molly, because Amir Garrett can be another left-handed arm in that bullpen, and we've got Garrett, Miller, Crockett, and Finnegan. That might be a little too much. That might be a little bit too many left-handed arms. So it might have to be Amir Garrett that goes down to AAA. I hate to do it because he's such a baller. You know, when he gets in there, you know, right? He's got that fire in him. But you know, Sal Romano might be a good bullpen guy in general. You know, 143 strikeouts, 70 walks. You know, that ERA is not very good. I mean, it's okay, but it's not going to win you very many games. So, you know, it stinks that we had to do that, but in the end, maybe Amir Garrett's a trading piece. Maybe Brandon Finnegan's a trading piece as well, but I kind of like what Brandon Finnegan's able to do with the sinker pitch that he's got going, the slider, the change, everything moves with him. And Amir Garrett's basically just got 3 pitches, right? So maybe we might be able to trade Amir Garrett. Maybe eventually he, you know, he really kills it down in AAA, and you know, when he gets a call up, and hey, maybe Kendall Graveman doesn't do too hot and we have to move him. You know, there's options here. Maybe DeSclafani. Maybe we have a World Series hangover and DeSclafani's got to be the guy that gets moved, right? 29 years old, might have to happen, right? So we got a 25-man set. So now we got to basically decide, okay, yep, this is what we're going to do. So you are going down to AA. Chris O'Key, you're going to move up to, no, we're good. All right, guys, so that is going to be the roster for 2019. So let's go ahead and simulate through, and let's see what the offer is here. Dallas Keuchel, you want Dallas Keuchel for Austin Riley and Julio Teheran. We're saving a lot of money. Saving a lot of money. Cash flow goes up way. Holy crap, the cash flow goes way up. I mean, wow. Wow, guys. That's actually a really good offer. That's a very good offer. You know, sometimes the CPU doesn't give you these type of offers. They kind of screw you. Austin Riley can play first base. He can kind of challenge Pavin Smith for that job. Wow. But is that a move we want to make at the beginning of a season? Could you see that in the headlines, guys? The Cincinnati Reds, right? A team that just won the World Series. They're going to trade Dallas Keuchel away for another starting pitcher, Julio Teheran, and a prospect, right? I mean, Austin Riley's pretty good. Teheran's pretty good. I don't know. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. All right, guys, so we're here at spring training now. So I went ahead and simulated everything else. And what I want to do for spring training specifically, I'm not going to get into the gameplay here today. But what I want to do, guys, is you guys know how our roster looks, right? So what I want to do now for each and every episode going forward in spring training, I'm going to basically preview each team or each division, so you guys kind of have an idea of where players went, kind of the player movement. So I know that, you know, going through an off season like that really quick and everything, you know, you don't really get an idea of where players went, what teams did in the off season. I try to keep up on it as much as possible, but yeah, so you guys get the idea. So we're going to go over the NL Central first, and looking at the Milwaukee Brewers, they look pretty solid, right? They got Josh Hader, Yelich, Knievel, former Tiger. Travis Shaw looks like he's going to have another big year for him. I did not realize that Travis Shaw was like that big. Like, he is a big dude. He's so big. I don't know how he's playing second base for a while. Jacob Barnes, Orlando Arcia is progressing really nicely for them. Lorenzo Cain, Jimmy Nelson, Domingo Santana, Ryan Braun. Like, Asdrubal Cabrera is playing second for him. Brent Suter, Woodruff, like, you know, this is a pretty solid team. They signed Alex Wilson, interesting. Sam Dyson as well. Jet Bandy, I was like Jet Bandy. So, you know, this team looks like it might be, I'd say it's probably going to finish second to last behind the Pittsburgh Pirates. And when we look at them, the best player is their closer, Felipe Rivero, Jameson Taillon, Starling Marte, Joe Musgrove, Gregory Polanco, Chad Kuhl. So, you know, this team's got a lot of work to do. But, you know, it's definitely one of those teams. Austin Hedges, former San Diego Padre. I could actually see this happening. Hedges going to the Pirates. You know, they got some good things going for them. They're young, right? It's just another normal type of Pittsburgh Pirates team. A really, you know, I wouldn't say Moneyball type of team, but, you know, a low budget type of team that's just trying to get the most out of all of their players. And I think that it might surprise us in a few games here this season, but I don't think it's anything to be too worried about. The St. Louis Cardinals are going to be on our tail for sure. Marcell Ozuna, Luke Weaver is progressing. Michael Wacha at 84. Starlin Castro they acquired, as well as Chris Taylor they acquired from the LA Dodgers. Paul DeJong, going to be a thorn in our side again. As look at his numbers there, 80, 78, 77, 90. Like, he's just an all-around good player. Carlos Martinez, fireballer. It's just going to be another really good team for St. Louis. So, I mean, they got a good bullpen, pretty solid bullpen at that. Jordan Hicks, Cishek, Sean Gilmartin, Altavilla. Like, it's Brett Cecil. You know, it's gonna be another good team. Let's go to the Cubs here. Chris Bryant, obviously, another really great player, one of the best players in the major leagues. Wilson Contreras, a 93 for Wilson Contreras, and he's just going to keep on going at 27 years old. And like, yeah, he's going to be pretty good. Ian Happ, Jose Quintana, Darvish, Baez, Hendricks, Wilson, Russell. It just doesn't end, guys. It's just another really good team for them. A lot of similar faces. They did sign Matt Carpenter, which is really hilarious to me. Adam Eaton they signed. Interesting. Albert Almora Jr. might be taking a back seat there to Adam Eaton. Maybe they'll split some time. Victor Caratini, Ryan Presley. Let's see if any other new names here. Yalmer Sanchez was signed. He was a free agent. They also got Chaz Rowe from the Tampa Bay Rays. Melky Cabrera they signed. Yeah, so Danny Espinoza. Like, this team is pretty good. They got a lot of good things going for them. And so it's basically going to be another three-team race between the Reds, the Cubs, and the Cardinals. So I'd like us to win the division yet again because I think that we're just way too stacked. I mean, look at that. Look at that. We're basically the Chicago Cubs, right? When we look at the Cubs roster. I mean, look at that. We stack up pretty well against those guys. So it's going to be a battle. It's going to be a battle between the Reds and the Cubs. Again, I just don't think that the Pirates or the Brewers have much of what it takes to get it done. I think, if anything, the Cardinals could surprise some people, but hopefully we can pull it off. So Next week on Friday, I'll actually show some spring training action, so I'll let you guys know how some of your players are doing, like Taylor Trammell, Pavin Smith. We'll keep an eye on some of those guys. Maybe some guys might surprise. And then we're actually going to go cover the NL West. So we'll get the Diamondbacks, Rockies, Dodgers, Padres, Giants covered, and then we'll finish off the NL with the NL East with, you know, the Phillies, Mets, Nationals, Marlins, Braves. Yeah, so we'll do that. And then we'll go on to the American League, right, after that. So that's how spring training will run. And then I should do the American League all in one video, so that we're not spending too much time here in the spring training games. So that's going to be it for this episode, guys. Leave a like if you like this thing, and if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that red button for subscribe or my logo in the bottom right hand corner, and I will see you guys next Friday for spring training action. Keuchel against Kluber. We're not going to extend him out too much. We're just going to kind of get him like 3 innings and then go with some of the backups and the reserves and see how they do. And yeah, so I'll see you guys next Friday. And you know, the Reds, we're not done. We're not done. We're almost headed into October. So we'll probably end this entire series probably November, just before December hits, and then you know, I'll do a little bit more of Road to the Show with Ricky Holberman. So if you guys are watching that, let me know in the comment section below. Maybe if you even gotten this far in the video, let me know if you've watched some Ricky Holberman videos. Right, I'm gonna do more of that. So, like I said, I'll see you guys in the next one. As always, peace.